A Lemington sex offender, Linton Mwingi, has been incarcerated after being discovered residing in a household with 3 children in Sunderland. Linton Mwingi is not allowed to live with any children as part of the conditions in place to protect them from him. Linton Mwingi disclosed to the mother of the children his disreputable history and his inclusion on the sex offenders register along with details of the risks he could pose, and the mother still let him live with her children. "We have had this woman CONTACING US trying to get this listing removed and has now gone to the police in an effort for get this information deleted." The 28-year-old, who received a suspended sentence in 2016 for sexual assault after loitering near toilets in Eldon Square, Newcastle, exposing himself, making lewd comments, and dragging a terrified young man into a cubicle and subjecting him to a horrendous ordeal. Linton Mwingi came up to him, pulled down his trousers and underwear, exposing his penis, and said, "You are going to ***** me right here right now." A court heard the victim was left extremely distressed by the ordeal and was shaking in fear after managing to break free. While trying to pull the victim into the cubicle, Mwingi was committing a sex act on himself, the court heard. He also failed to inform the police about 2 bank cards he had acquired and his irregular residence away from his usual Lemington address, both of which were stipulations of the register. A court was informed that Linton Mwingi had previously failed to comply with the sex offenders register, having been sentenced in 2021. The ex-skilled footballer, Linton Mwingi, residing on Dean Avenue in Leamington, has been incarcerated for 8 months after admitting guilt to 5 charges of non-compliance with the stipulations of the sex offenders register. Glenda Beck, prosecuting at Newcastle Magistrates Court, stated that Linton Mwingi's risk management manager visited his Leamington residence in September 2024 and conversed with a guy, who verified that Linton Mwingi was not residing there. Mrs. Beck stated, "Financial assessments were conducted, revealing that the defendant possessed 2 registered bank cards, one of which was associated with a residential address in Sunderland." The court was informed that officers revisited his residence in Leamington and were informed by 2 males that he did not reside there. They subsequently visited the Sunderland location associated with the bank account and discovered many items belonging to Linton Mwingi. The property belonged to a woman whom Linton Mwingi asserted was a friend, together with her 3 children. District Judge Paul Coer stated during sentencing, "These are grave offences due to your failure to reside where you were obligated to be. You were at a location with children without informing the authorities, and you possessed 2 bank accounts that were not registered with the authorities." Linton Mwingi has a history of analogous offences and prior convictions, which the court considered before sentence. His history of non-compliance and the nature of his infractions were deemed significant violations of the legal responsibilities imposed on sex offenders. During the hearings, his defense said that Linton Mwingi has a brain lesion impairing his memory, which they asserted contributed to his non-compliance with registration requirements. Linton Mwingi previously resided between Stockton and Newcastle, where he assaulted a guy on Teesside by hurling a bicycle at him and stomping on his head. Linton Mwingi is also recognized as an adept shoplifter. Back in June 2016, he was responsible for an ugly outbreak of violence at Gray's Monument in Newcastle. He was arguing with his girlfriend and a man and threw a bottle of vodka, smashing it. Mr. Devlin said, "A member of the public approached him and said there were women and children present and asked him to desist from shouting and the behavior he was engaged in. He then produced a knife and threatened the male who had tried to calm him down, saying words to the effect, 'I'm going to stab him in the throat.'"